crafty friends, it's Crystal with Happy to Plan. I am going to be doing some work in my December daily 2024, and today's video is going to be about getting the cover figured out and then also doing my 2x2 pocket page. I like to start out with just like a cute little 2x2 pocket page with just like little embellishments and things like that. It's just how I've started the last 5 projects like this. So it's just how I like to do it. So I'm going to go ahead and work on that today. And then I also want to show you a little bit of work I did for the Solvang trip that we did on the 14th, 15th, and 16th. So let me go ahead and jump in and get this started. One of the things I do quite often in this project is add in different types of elements. So for instance, I like acetate sheets, and then I also like things kind of outside of the pockets. I like flip ups, things like that. So when I was working on my foundation pages, I added in a couple of these acetate sheets because I hadn't had any in here. And when I do add in an element, I generally like to try to do it in threes. So if I have one acetate sheet, I have to have 3 acetate sheets. So I did add in a couple of acetate sheets in the middle of different pages in here. And I have decided that I do like where I place them, and I think I'm going to keep them all in here. I really do like this particular one just because I feel like the subtleness of the little green trees is really cute, and I do like the way that it plays off of the green of the cover. So I think I am going to keep this in here. I decided this year I wanted to do kind of like assembly line, which is not generally how I do my project. I usually do like page 1, page 2. But this year I thought, since I'm doing it, and it's already done, like the month's already done, and I have all the pictures and stuff. So what I decided to do was I went through and built all, like designed like where I want all of my pictures, and then I picked out all of the journaling cards, and then I printed all the pictures and placed all the pictures. So now that I have all the pictures in and I kind of understand like what the journaling cards are going to be, I'm going to go in now and design each page. So the first thing I want to do is I want to design the cover sheet for that. Before I get into that though, I do want to show you that I did also work on this flip book. I think I talked about this in my foundation pages, that on the 14th, 15th, and 16th of December, my family went to Solvang for like a little Christmas getaway. And so I wanted to kind of, we had so many pictures of that trip, and it was just such a fun little girl trip that and it was only 3 days, but we had so many pictures. So I went ahead and did its own like book. And I, again, printed all the pictures, figured out all the layouts and things, and printed all the pictures and put them in this book. And then I also did all of the journaling cards. I think I'm still maybe missing a couple of journaling cards, but I did most of the journaling cards. Now, I do want to have some like junk journaling elements in here. For instance, I took this map of Solvang. I want to add this to the cover. So that's why it's paper clipped on here with this big paper clip. I have a couple of like little pieces from the places that we ate. Like I have this, I think this was like the placemat of this restaurant that we go to. It's a pretty substantial restaurant in my life. I've gone here many, many, many times in my lifetime. And then there's this Paula's pancake house place that we went to. So I think I have a way I want to add those kind of elements in. So yeah. So we'll go through that when we actually design this book. And then I also have this little patch that I bought. I think I'm going to put it at the front of the book. But the reason I'm showing you this is because part of the kind of cover is going to be having this sit right here. Now, I am hoping it's not as bulky as what it is currently. Just because I think it's a big paper clip, and this map that I have in here won't be as thick as that, because I'm going to cut it down quite significantly. But basically what I've decided that I'm going to do is I'm going to put it in a pocket. So found this paper in my stash, and this feels very Solvang to me. It feels very like Dutch. Just this whole pattern feels very Dutch-like. So I was thinking about maybe using this. I don't know. I just don't know. You know what? I think I'm going to have to really complete this book and have everything completed in it to know how big the book is going to be in order to make the decision on how I'm going to do it, because I might need a gusseted pocket. Um, I have to have a little bit of a gusset to the pocket. So if that's the case, yeah, I think I'm going to have to completely finish this book before I make that decision. But the reason I'm pulling it out and have it out is because I want to see what this is going to look like compared to this cover. Because, it's going to be, when you open it, it's going to be all inclusive. And then this will have this little patch on it. I was kind of looking through my stash and I found this little acetate piece and it says Merry and Bright on it. And I thought maybe this would work. Just have it really simple and just, have it be on there like that. But I do want to build my 2x2 pocket page. I think what I would do is just staple this on to the acetate piece. But I think what I want to do first is I want to build my 2x2 pocket page and then see what it looks like with this on top of it, if that makes any sense at all. So let me move this out of the way. So I did do some pre-work in designing the 2x2 pocket page just to make this video a little easier for me to edit. So basically what I'm going to do first, what I like to do is I like to have, I got these acetate sheets. I have acetate sheets. And basically what I do is I cut them down to be a little less than 2x2 because this pocket is a little bit less than 2x2. And then I like to glue everything onto the pocket or staple it to this little acetate piece and then stick it in the pocket. I'm going to do that first. I'm going to cut out and I'm going to just measure out because I want it to be fairly exactly the size of the pocket page. So I'm just going to cut it based on that measurement. And then we'll go through and put together the pockets. Square. I'm just going to put this little sticker on it. This little gift sticker. I'm going to put some ribbon on this. One of the things I didn't show in my setup video was my stack of ribbons. I completely forgot because it was like underneath my desk. So I completely forgot to show you guys, but I do have quite a significant stack of ribbons in my collection that I'm hoping to use. I do like to have things kind of sticking out of I do like to have some ribbons sticking out of the top and the sides and things. So I'm going to go ahead and cover up this pink heart with this little red one. I just feel like it works better. Oh, I got a fresh Fabri-Tac. Oh, I love a fresh bottle of Fabri-Tac. If you use Fabri-Tac, you will know after a while it just gets kind of gloppy. Okay, so I'm going to let that sit for a second and then actually I can just put it on and I'm going to tilt it a tad little bit, not too much because I don't think it'll fit on here. You know what, actually, I think I'm going to trim it just a tiny bit at the bottom. Yeah, that like barely fit. Okay, so I think this one is definitely going to go right here just so I can have it kind of dangling off the edge. Okay, let's see. Let's do the next one. Okay, so then another one that I want to do is I just want to put this little hot cocoa on it. I don't know if I want to put a puffy dot behind it. A puffy dot on here just to see if I want it to be. And then does it make a difference if it's in the pocket if it's puffy? Yeah. Yep, I like it. I like it. I like it. We're going to go for it. Maybe tilt him a little bit. I think that's what it's going to look like. All right. I'm going to do these little Christmas ornaments. And then I'm going to do these little cut apart. I have these little tiny little Christmas lights. But I'm going to actually draw, if I can hold it in my hand long enough to do it, I'm going to draw little lines. Okay, and then I have another one right here. So I think I'm also going to put a puffy dot behind this. I'm going to try to use Fabri-Tac for this, but I don't know. I can't remember if it works or not. Okay. And then I thought I would put a couple little stars. Like basically what I want it to look like is that, I probably should go a little lower so you guys can actually see what I'm doing. I don't know if that's helping at all. Okay, well, now the camera's in my way. All right, so now I'm going to glue this. And then the other one I'm just going to do, I found this in my stash, just like cut like this. I'm like, oh, look how cute that looks together. So I'm just going to do that. I mean, that's pretty simple. Horrific. So I apologize for that if the glare is really bad. I want to do this little house and this little joy sticker and then this little sparkle. This little sparkle die cut. Gingerbread man, and I have an idea for him. So my idea, let's get him glued down and then I'll do. So I'm going to take a little black piece of thread. Stick just a tiny little bit of Fabri-Tac at the end. That's probably not enough. I'm going to stick it underneath his little hand. And then I'm going to put little stars on this little string. Like he's holding a little string garland. Let's do blue. Why not? There. That's cute. Okay, so the rest of them are going to be fairly easy. I'm going to put this on this one. I'm going to put this on this one. I'm going to put this one. I like to have words, people. But I think maybe I'll pop one off just a little bit. Maybe this one. Okay, so I'm going to wait to glue these on because I might want to put them on the pop dots. So I'm going to do this next. So I'm just going to glue this on. I've got this little holly cut out. I actually die cutted something and I'm actually going to use it. I'm so excited. I don't use die cuts that often, like die cuts that I die cut myself. I usually just make pre-made die cuts because I'm lazy. or efficient. That's what I like to say. So now that I've got all of my little plastic pieces done, I'm going to start putting them in the book. Now I'm going to actually arrange them on top because let me back up a little bit. So much glare. So much glare. Okay, so I know this one is definitely going to go there. I want this one kind of in the middle. And then I don't really care. And then I want the 3 word ones to be kind of not next to each other, right? So I like want one here, want one up there. Actually, I think I want this one down here and maybe like this one here. And then that, maybe this down there. So the way, what I'm doing basically when I'm thinking, my thought process is these single ones, I kind of want them, they're 4 singles kind of like separated. And then I want all the like little collages. So I have like this collage, this collage, this collage. I want those kind of all separated. I definitely want this here. This has to be here. So I'm just going to put this in there because I like it to be hanging off the little corner. So, and then I really want this in the middle, but I could put it down here. Nope. I really want this in the middle. I don't know why. I just want that in the middle. And then I feel like one of these heavier ones has to go with the, I think I could put this one at top to kind of balance it out. Yeah, I kind of like that actually. And then maybe I kind of feel like that goes there. And maybe this goes here. I don't like that green right next to each other. Maybe these two flip. Maybe this goes on the top. I do kind of like the triangle, how that's making a triangle, the little collage pieces. I do like these at the end, and I think the words are kind of spread out enough. Okay, so let's get them all in the pockets. I think this is literally the quickest I've ever done this. This is usually the thing I do at the scrapbooking expo, and it drives my sister crazy because it takes me so long to do this. Now, trust me, I did a lot of prep before this. I did a lot of prep before the video got turned on. So, and I'm sure there's editing magic that is going to make this even shorter than it actually is right now to record it. But for all intents and purposes, it's not take me as long as it usually does. Okay, so let's get it in the book and let's see if I like. Let me back you up a little bit more. Okay, so this is going to sit here in the book. I like it. Okay, so now do I like this on top of it? Yep, I do. I like that you can still see all the little pieces, and the Mary doesn't really distract from it. The Merry and Bright doesn't. So I think I am gonna do that. All right, so I'm gonna get this added on. I finally bought a tiny attacher from Tim Holtz. I did color the staples with my Sharpie pen. So I'm just gonna go in and just kind of strategically put this staples on the red part. I think that's all I need. Maybe one down at the bottom. Let's do one down at the bottom, just so it doesn't flip up on me. Okay. All right. I think that's it. I mean, merry and bright, and my 2x2, and then of course my weather, and then I will do my prompt list, and I'm going to actually do my prompt list, and I'm going to load the video for tomorrow probably, um, because I want to get this video out. So I'm going to go edit this video and then come back and record my prompt list. So hope that you guys enjoyed this video. I will see you again next time. Bye for now.